If I needed to sell my Burlington house fast, I would not start with repairs, not with staging, and certainly not with calling 3 random real estate agents. I would start with one specific question. What is the fastest path to a real sale without making a very expensive mistake? Because when people need out fast, they usually do many of the wrong things first. They panic, they guess and worry about that, or they delay, and that delay can cost way more than most people realize, especially in today's market. See, a lot of sellers think that selling fast means slashing the price or throwing the property on MLS and hoping someone bites. That's not the real strategy. That is stress disguised as action. And in Burlington especially, that mistake can cost you double. First, you lose time, and second, you lose lots of leverage. Because the longer a stressed property sits, the more buyers start asking the wrong questions. What's wrong with it? Why hasn't it sold? Why are they so desperate? Are they desperate? How long can we go? How low can we go? That's where fast sales start turning into very weak sales. And here's the part that homeowners miss. If you truly need out fast, the goal is not to get it listed quickly. The goal is to choose the right sale path quickly. Those are not the same thing. See, sometimes that path is the MLS, Realtor.ca. Sometimes it's off market, and sometimes it's selling exactly as is. Sometimes it's even cleaning it up just enough to avoid looking like a problem. And sometimes the worst move you can make is spending 3 weeks, 4 weeks doing work that does not even change the outcome. That's where people get crushed. They spend money they did not need to spend, they lose momentum, and they still end up taking less than they hoped. This is where sellers get blindsided because the house is not the only thing being judged. Your situation and your status gets judged as well. Buyers can smell uncertainty. If your property hits the market looking rushed, it's poorly positioned, or it's emotionally reactive, buyers start circling for that weakness. That doesn't mean that you're weak. It means the presentation is giving away leverage before negotiation even starts. Once that happens, getting it back is very, very difficult. So if I needed to sell fast in Burlington, here is exactly what I would do first. I would define which of these 3 buckets I'm actually in. Bucket number 1, I need speed and simplicity. I don't want to fix it. I don't want strangers walking through constantly. I do not want this dragging on. I want a clean plan and a real outcome. Bucket 2, I need speed, but I still want to test the market intelligently. This is where a lot of sellers belong. This could be you. You want movement fast, but you don't want to act recklessly. You might still be a good fit to put on MLS, but only if the pricing, the preparation, and positioning are built for urgency. So you need the right strategy there. Or you could be bucket number 3. I think I need speed, but what I really need is clarity. A lot of people feel panicked because they do not know their options. And once they understand the smart path, the stress drops quickly and the outcome generally gets better. So if you don't know what bucket you're in, that's the first problem to solve. Not the paint colors, not the upgrades, not the kitchen, not whether your countertops are trendy enough. It's what is my path? What bucket am I in? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most fast sale mistakes happen before the property ever goes live. It's the wrong preparation, it's the wrong pricing strategy, it's the wrong market positioning, it's the wrong system. And once that system is set in motion, you're reacting now instead of leading it. And that's when a seller gets stuck. That's when a 2-week solution turns into a 2-month headache or even a 12-month headache. And that's when people say, I knew I should have handled this differently, and they are left with tons of regrets. Let's talk about what need out fast usually means. It usually means one of these. The house needs too much work, your life changed unexpectedly, you're going through a divorce or family pressure is pushing a decision, you bought already and you need to move, the property just simply feels like a burden, you inherited something you don't want to work with, your finances are tighter than other people realize, you're emotionally done and you just want closure. And in any of these moments, homeowners often tell themselves a dangerous lie. I'll just wait a little longer and hope things get figured out. Well, sometimes waiting does help. Sometimes the market can save you, but often waiting just makes a hard situation even more harder. There's more carrying costs, there's more uncertainty, there's an emotional dragging, and there's more room for the market to punish that hesitation. So you don't want to rush in blindly, for sure. And I'm not saying to do that, but you also don't want to drift. Drifting is very, very expensive. The right fast sale strategy should do 4 main things. It should match your real urgency, not the urgency you pretend to have, but the real one. Number 2, it should protect you from useless work. A lot of sellers do busy work, because it feels productive, but if it does not improve the speed or the outcome, it's a distraction. Number 3, it should attract the right buyer type. Some buyers want it nice and polished. Some buyers want opportunity. Some buyers want certainty. And if you market to the wrong group, the sale is going to slow down. So you got to know who you're marketing to. And number 4, it should give you a very clear next step immediately. Not someday in the future, not after you think about it for 2-3 weeks, but right away. Because momentum matters when you need out as a homeowner. And this is the part where a lot of people get quietly burned in the process. They call the wrong person. They get very generic advice. They hear, just list it and see what happens. It's many realtor strategies. That sounds fairly harmless too, but it's not, because list it and see what happens is not a strategy at all. And when time, money, and stress are all on the line, you don't need more noise. You need a real decision framework. The good news is this: needing to sell fast does not automatically mean that you're going to get crushed. It does not automatically mean giving the property away. And it doesn't automatically mean that you only have just one option. It means you need the right plan, and you need the right plan now. That's it. Sometimes we tell people the smartest move is going on the MLS in the traditional version. Sometimes we talk with the homeowner and it's simply to simplify things, to cut the fluff and make sure that there's some action in place right now. And sometimes we tell them it's not to waste $1 on repairs. And sometimes we see small adjustments that might actually improve the outcome in a big way. But every good result starts the same way. It starts with a clear read on the situation and a clear conversation before anyone makes an emotional decision. So if you own a property in Burlington and you need out fast, the worst move is just guessing blindly. There's a link below this to our landing page where you can sign up for a conversation with us, and we'll help you figure out the smart path based on your timeline, on your property, and how quickly you really need to move. We'll give you a real plan before this gets even more expensive than it needs to be.